Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Jeff Hodges. He has a brand new song out. It's called Locomotive, and I'm very excited to talk to him all about it. Jeff, thank you for being here. How's it going? How's your day been so far?
It's been a good day. I got a lot of stuff done last night here in the studio, and I'm working on a new song called "If I Was a Road,"
Nice.
and it's a cool metaphorical kind of thing. But thanks for having me. I'm excited about talking to you guys about the song.
No, thank you for being here. The song is great, as I mentioned before we started recording, but I'm going to say it 100 more times because it's really, really catchy. Um, First thing I want to know about is the lyrical content. I guess what exactly inspired the making of this song?
Well, so I had the idea for the song originally was a rock and roll song at half the time. It was like this.
Yeah, yeah.
It and one and I wrote the song and I recorded it here. I've got the studio here, where I
Nice.
work at. And so I wrote the song probably about a year and a half ago, actually. And I wrote it as a rock and roll song. But one morning I woke up and I was like, I hear, and I took the same exact vocals and wrote country, kind of, the song that you hear out now. And actually, everybody loved that one even better. So it originally was a halftime rock and roll song. So, but
Interesting.
you asked about the meaning of the lyrics. It's metaphor for locomotive is a train, but loco motive is crazy intentions.
Right. Okay.
And I
Yeah,
was
I
going
think
through,
people need to pay attention to the actual spelling of the song. It's
well, it's
locomotive.
yeah, two words, and it could be for anything in your life that's kind of out of control that you're just kind of hanging on to, and you don't know where it's going, but you've got the right intentions, and it rattles, unravels. The truth is going to scatter. Doesn't matter. It's sadder because you're only going to shatter. It's kind of when it hits the ground. I don't give a damn. So, shit in your life that that you can't control, or things just going nuts. At some point, you just got to go. I don't give a damn because it's going to be worse for the people. The locomotive, the crazy intentions, locomotive, crazy intentions. That's what that stands for.
Love that. The song also features an artist named Alyxandra.
It does.
Who is she? What's your relationship? How did this collaboration come about?
So Alexandra, which is long for Alex, grew up in the studio with me. She's my daughter.
Nice. Okay, very cool.
And she's been singing and writing music since she was, 8 years old. Grew up in the studio between mixing consoles. She's worked with Ashanti, Elise Testone from American Idol and others, and she's an incredible talent. She's got an amazing pitch and voice. And I just had the idea, and I wrote the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics in the music, and I had this idea. She ain't got no ticket for the ride. The conductor's got her trapped inside.
Sure.
She's not even supposed to be there because, in a deeper sense, it's kind of a little bit of a story of our life. Some shit that went down, but it applies to everybody. It's you don't know where it's going. You got to hold on, hope for the best. You're losing as you race against time, falling on a sleep decline. I mean, it's dual meaning there. It's you're
Right,
going,
right.
things are going to hell, but you're also going down. So there are a lot of wordplay in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Listen, I wasn't aware that she was your daughter, but I kind of think that makes everything better. I can't imagine a more proud feeling as a parent to collaborate with your daughter on something that ended up so beautiful. Obviously, I'm sure you've worked with her in some capacity, being in the studio. Is this the first official song that she's been on?
Um, of mine, yes.
Okay, okay.
I produced and wrote. I wrote and produced a modern reggae album for her that she released in 2024 called Turquoise,
Right.
and featured Damn Skippy on one of the songs. And she's just, it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like stick figure in the
Okay.
movement, kind of like
Sure, sure.
modern. The production is really slick, and so I kind of copped her that vibe. But she has such a great voice, man.
Oh
So it's just,
yeah.
she walks in the studio, and I'll spend 4 days working on parts and recording guitars and bass and drums. And she walks in, she's in and out in an hour and a half. It's just not even fair. you know,
Sometimes the talent is just it's just waiting to come out. I completely get it.
she
Um,
really is talented. Yeah, she really is.
right. And then, you had briefly mentioned about the genre and the sound of the song. And how it started out as a rock song and it's kind of, transformed into what it is today. But it's very much like a fast-paced country song, but it has those like Caribbean influences kind of flowing through the backbone of it, which gives it such an edge because nowadays, people are capitalizing on the country sound and doing
Yeah.
whatever with it. And there's so many subgenres. Truly, this is the first time that I've heard something that sounded like this, and it's really what caught my ear.
Well, I appreciate it. Almost sounds like a TV jingle thing.
Yeah.
And the truth is God has got it. Doesn't matter. And
Oh, it's so catchy. So catchy.
I love that last break. And I couldn't rap. I was terrible at it. And but I have a good friend, Dan Skippy, who tours with Little Stranger out of Charleston, my friends, and he worked on one of Alex's songs. So I just kept practicing, and I kept practicing the rap, and so I performed live, and I do a song called "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked." You probably
Nice.
heard that by Casey Elfman.
Sure.
Then a minute later, and the walking down the street, and then a minute, And so I got my cadence down, and I pulled it off, and now it's much easier for me. I don't know where it came from, bro. The version that it is out, I actually released the country, it's kind of like an old school country, it's not like the modern thing, it's got it,
I
and
agree.
all the guitars are all real. I worked with Chris Clefani. We co-produced it, and he played bass and guitars. He plays mandolin and
Wow.
banjo, and so I wrote the parts. I play guitars and whatnot on the keyboard, and it sounds very, you probably wouldn't know, but
No.
then Chris took my parts, and he's able to embellish them and layer them, the same parts like that run in the middle,
Right, right.
it was a little guitar run I did on the keyboard. But I mean, working with Chris is magical. He's a Grammy winning producer, and he's a wonderful guy.
Listen, having a producer that actually gets what you want to do and can follow through on it is like one of the most pivotal points of making good music because it's sometimes like speaking another language on its own.
Well, I've been self-producing myself for so many years, and I've
Sure.
produced hundreds of bands, and this was this project, some of these songs, I just needed to, I was too close to them, and I needed a subjective person. Not that I could do everything myself, but
Yeah,
when you give somebody else who's also brilliantly talented and sees it from a different light, it just gets better. Collaborating is the best.
I agree. I agree. And it's fun because like making music is fun. You know what I
Oh,
mean? You don't want it to feel like a full-time job where it's like, you're slaving over the computer and getting mad at it. Like it's supposed to be this free-flowing creative thing.
yeah. When I ran Charleston Sound Studios for over a decade, I recorded Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel,
Nice.
there at the studio. But most of the time it was just hourly clients, and
Yeah.
you have to slog through a lot of stuff that and keep your mouth shut.
That's
Sometimes
probably
I've
true.
had bands leave. Yeah, I've had bands leave, and after they were gone, I redid the drums and keyboards and stuff like that. And so they, because
They'll never know.
they didn't know, man. That was a great part right there.
Oh, wow, we sound amazing. That's
Man,
great.
that guy sounds just like Jeff.
That's so funny. From a few things that you've said, you strike me as obviously a creative person, but someone that doesn't stop making new things, especially, getting the confusion on like what we were going to talk about because you're always working on the next thing.
Yeah.
How do you continue to sort of find that inspiration? Like, is it things in your life? Is it just sitting with an instrument and plucking around? Like, what is it?
I would say it's both. When usually a song idea will start on the piano. I'm a keyboard player pianist.
Okay.
I was a piano major at Winthrop University. And so I'll just, because I love to just, I got, here's my keyboard. I don't know if you can hear it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, so I'll just, I know when it's on the days of the race where the wind is going. Is a train, it's slow, and I don't give a damn. So
Love
I'll
that.
just screw around until something hits me. And then writing lyrics used to be so hard for me. And now I just have to I have to tell an honest story about myself and just make it straightforward. But, not because it's so easy to just pick common,
Yeah.
writing lyrics, these, cliche stuff.
Yep.
And so,
Breakup song, love song, whatever.
yeah. And so on Locomotive, it really is, I'm off the rails, but I'm holding, and this demon locomotive can't go any faster. I'm braking, but it won't slow down. White
Yeah.
knuckled, with you're holding on so tight, your blood is out of your hands.
Sure.
her engine's themes, that gives you a clue of what it's about, but her
Love
engine's
that.
themes and fire burns. Um, and then Alex, she's literally trapped inside. She's not even supposed to be involved, but she is in real life and on the song, which is
Sure.
interesting. And it's just being real. If I try to force some lyrics, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at
Yeah.
all.
Completely reasonable. I find that like even just in my normal everyday listening, you can kind of tell when the lyrics are manufactured, or it's like, well, this is a hot topic, so we need to write about it. But the songs that hit me the hardest, because I'm a lyrics person, is like, I want to learn about you. I want to learn about the stories of your life. 99.9% of the music or the songs that people hear from you, like they don't know you as a person. So
Yeah.
it's kind of their chance to get a glimpse into your life and see what you're all about.
Well, I'm nobody, but I've been since 7 playing the piano, and then
Yeah.
lived in Nashville from 25 to 30, sleep interning in studios, and then
Awesome.
then I made a big turn. I got married and had 2 kids, and it kind of diverted and got lucky. Basically, I was a telemarketer,
Okay.
trying to just making my $5 an hour or whatever, and then
Sure.
10 years later, I have my own company that I never expected to have, but it's led me to be able to like build Charleston Sound,
Yeah.
and now at this point in my life, I'm 61. At this point in my life, basically retired from full-time music. I play in a band here locally on TCI, and I compose pretty much full time. I'm just open to everything, every possibility that can
Awesome.
come my way. I did a short film, soundtrack and song design for a really cool video that really came out amazing. And oh, Jeff can do that too. Yes, because I could play. I do everything. I write. I'm a very good keyboard player, I would say, and I could, being in bands my entire life and recording studios, is I know what a guitar player would do, and I know what a bass player, how he just sound, or how a drummer would do a drum fill.
Totally.
He's doing a drum fill, he can't play the hi-hat at the same time when he's doing a fill. It has to be
Right.
natural. So you have to think like the player, and because I'm able to do that, I'm able to play all the instruments, because there's great virtual instruments by native instruments, and I do Arturia instruments, just great virtual instruments that if you play it like you have to play it like a guitar player. It has a room, it's
Sure.
strums, so it takes time, and I really work very hard on the realism and not generating stuff. I play everything. I don't click the mouse. I don't download loops. I
Love
play
that.
everything, and to me that's really important because I feel authentic about it, and I really did it.
Yeah, I
um
mean, it's being proud of your work at the end of the day. And like you have a life of experience of playing these things and collaborating with people and
yeah.
obviously starting and doing your own thing. Like, you know, going down the rabbit hole of like AI music and using these programs and blah, blah, blah. Like, it sucks. Like, I kind of hate where the music industry is going and the fact that you're keeping it as real as possible, literally playing the instruments and collaborating with these people. It's commendable in today's music space.
I think that there's going to be a renaissance, because like the new renaissance, because humans
Yeah.
actually playing the instrument on stage is
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
at. You can actually do it, and it's not manufactured or auto-tuned or something like that. I
Absolutely.
don't use auto-tune at all. I can't say I don't fix a note here and there when I got a good soulful performance, but I don't sit there and micro tweaks. I don't,
Sure.
I'd rather do 6, 8, 10 takes of it and get the good one.
That's what it's all about right there. You got
Yeah,
to
and
do what you
Alex, of
got to
course, she's
do.
like 2 takes. She's so good.
That natural talent.
Yeah.
Do you ever get out there and play live, or is it mostly studio stuff?
No, I for the last year and a half, I've been playing with a band. A really original name. It's called the Original Bar Band.
Nice. Great
Um,
for a Google search.
and it was by chance I met a gentleman named Bob Hawkins, who's about 10, 15 years older than me, but he's from the UK and notable touring artist for his whole life.
Yeah.
Great guitar player. We were chatting about him doing a duet with Alex, and
Okay.
I just went to meet him, and we ended up talking for 2 hours. He says, "Well, hey, we're playing at the Embers tonight. You want to come out and sit in with us?" And I appreciate that, but I don't like input. I'm not, pro musicians won't impose. You get, they'll never impose themselves on on a
Sure.
stage. Hey, can I play with you? And so I'm really shy about that. He said, "I'll
Yeah.
come out. You'll find your way." And by the second song, I was like, "Okay." This is like me sitting around in the house jamming. It's just blues
Exactly.
rock, and and then I sang a song that night, "I Lose Control" by Teddy Swims.
Great
I
song.
lose control. That was one. And they're like, "Oh, we found our new singer," and
Ah,
they ended up firing or letting the guy that he was kind of a pain, not that great. Not that
wow.
I don't judge, but it's like, let's say you play tennis or golf or something. You go, you're very good. And you go play with a beginner. It's a little tough,
Yeah,
you know.
of
And I'm
course.
a perfectionist too. I have to be. I want to do really good. So I've been playing with this band. They made me the lead singer, and they said, "Can you sing these 50 songs?" I said, "Well, I've only ever heard three of them."
Oh, geez. Okay.
It's
You
like
got some
old,
homework.
Muddy Waters, and old.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite songs that I used to hate the song, but I freaking love it. What is it? Can you hear that?
I can hear. Yeah, yeah.
So it's sitting here rusting my bones when my loneliness won't leave me alone. I'm sitting at the dock of the bay,
Oh, yeah. Otis Redding, right?
watching the time go. I'm rough. In the dark of the bay, wasting my time, getting wasted away. So I just
Love
fell
it.
in love with the music, and because coming up in piano school, I was into progressive rock,
Sure.
real technical, time changes, runs, and all this stuff, very orchestral. And I kind of looked down on the 4 chord, 5 chord, 16 bar blues. But what I found was I was so wrong, because within the simplicity of the arrangements, there's freedom,
Absolutely.
so much freedom to express, and I fell in love with it. And then I started writing songs in the vein. Locomotive is one. It's kind of fast paced. I've got another coming out at Thanksgiving called "I'm Coming Home," which is kind of like, I would say, Elton John meets Joe Cocker meets gospel band meets rock band.
Sure, sure.
And it's a great song as well. And Alex sings on that one as well, which is really
Okay,
great.
cool.
It's a serious song. It's family. It's about coming home to see your family. You've been gone.
Nice.
It's really relatable.
I'm excited to hear it.
Now, I am
Um,
for you to hear it as well.
I have a couple more for you.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to know, hypothetically, if you had to recommend a place or a setting for someone to listen to the song, do you have an idea where it might be?
Locomotive, I would say, is a great highway traveling song, man. You're doing
My
about 65,
exact thought.
75 miles. I don't
Oh
know. And
yeah.
you're passing people, look out for the cops, you
Couldn't
know,
agree more. I try to,
or
think of the answer before I ask it.
or a
That's
workout,
my say
running.
or workout, same answer.
It's got good energy. It's got a
It
really nice
really,
energy.
really does. And then lastly,
And
like
my dog is in it. My dog, Tinkerbell. You saw her in the
nice.
video.
Oh, good. Yeah, exactly. The last thing here is basically like for anyone that hasn't heard of you or hasn't listened to the song, is there an opening message that you'd like to say to them before they listen?
First of all, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my music. I'm very grateful. I compose not from any kind of contrived or premeditated thing. It just comes right from my heart, and I let my emotion out, and I don't care to let it out. And it's an expression of my life, and that I think other people. I mean, I'm 61 now, so I think other people can relate to some of the shit that I've been through, and many have been through worse. And I love them, and I want to get to know them, and I want to communion with them. We're all these, spiritual beings, and we all have energy. We're all connected in ways we don't even know.
Yeah.
So I would just say thank you, listen, enjoy, and don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy it. And I got serious music too. This one's just fun and puts a smile on your face.
I think it's a great intro to the rest. You know what I mean? For anyone that hasn't listened, like this one's going to suck you in, but I know that you have depth as an artist.
I think I do. It was funny that the sipping on some G4 song hit it so big that kind of paved the way for all this. And it's just a joke song really that I did with some friends, and they ended up making me their summer ambassador for the brand.
Nice.
And shot a video, and I was like, okay, I got all these serious, like, real artist songs, and you
Right.
took the song about tequila. Oh shit. Beep. So no, I appreciate that. I've got some actual music, I think, and well composed. I'd like to think that it's well composed and arranged, and I work very hard to make it right, to make it great.
Absolutely is. Well, listen, before we wrap up, please let me plug the song one more time
Yeah,
for you.
man.
So, if you've made it this far in the interview and you didn't know, I'm speaking with Jeff Hodges. The song is called Loco Motive. It's two words. It features his daughter, Alyxandra. As always, we'll have the links in our article and everywhere else so that you can listen and share. Follow along. Stay tuned for more. I know that you're working on more, so I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure getting to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Well, thank you, Austin, for having me. I appreciate you guys and what you do for the community. That's really
Course.
wonderful.
All right. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and I hope to chat soon.
It's just getting better from here. Thank you, sir.
See you later. Bye bye.
Okay, buddy. Bye.